How do I day trade when I'm working full time? That is a question that every single person most likely has to answer for themselves, because while either trading may be your side hustle or a potential future career goal where you want to go full time with it or anything like that, you need to be working in order to have funds to trade and that safety net while you're learning, etc. So how are we going to do that? This is something that I learned and went through myself. I learned how to trade while I was working full time, and 3.5 years ago, I actually quit my corporate job to trade full time. So everything I'm about to say is from personal experience, and I hope that it helps you figure out a few things with the structure that I'm going to help provide. First things first, time. When should I be trading if I'm working full time? So we're going to look at the chart here. This is the current session. So everything in the dark is the current session. Markets are currently open. It's 1:55. But if we go left, we're going to go all this gray is the overnight session. The futures market opens at 5 p.m. Central Time. And what we notice as we go left, we have a lot of movement, and the movement slowly gets smaller and smaller and smaller until 5 p.m. So that brings us to point number one. If you are working full time, do not trade the 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. slot. Really, I'm going to go and blanket statement that and say, do not trade when you get home from work until you wake up the next morning. Why? Because volatility only gets better. The opportunities only get better the closer that we get to 8:30 a.m. Central Time, which is the futures market US Open. And there's just going to be a ton more opportunity. I mean, some of these candles, when you look at like the 5 o'clock open, are literally 4 points. That's like no movement. It's very slow, very dead. You're going to feel like you're wasting your time. So what should you be doing during that time instead? You should be practicing. You should be charting. You should be figuring out strategies, back testing things, maybe going through market replay during the session that morning and figuring out how things were moving. But the number one thing is just don't trade that overnight session at 5 p.m. You're going to be coming home from work physically, mentally burned out, exhausted, and that is just not a good recipe for executing live trades, just typically. Instead, use that time to practice, back test, maybe watch YouTube videos, whatever it is, in order to progress your trading career without executing orders. And make sure you do that on a practice account. So when should you be trading? Unfortunately, it means waking up in the morning. It does get easier over time, but as we go right, again, the closer we get to 8:30 Central Time, right here, you can see the volatility and the movement really goes up. Better times to trade would be waking up at like 4, 5, 6 in the morning. Again, kind of depends on when you need to get ready for work, but the closer that you can get to 8:30, the better. So in my opinion, waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning to trade is typically pretty good. Even here, like the 6 o'clock candle this morning, top to bottom, we're looking at 20 points for that 5-minute move. That's pretty good. You look at 7:30 and you're looking at, 27 to 60, 40 points with movement in that candle. So again, the closer you get to 8:30, the better. Now, what do I need to be doing about accounts and things like that when I'm working full time? I would say follow the blueprint of day trading that I have, which is use a simulated account while you're practicing and charting. There's nothing worse than accidentally putting in a real order and losing money on something that you didn't mean to do, right? So always use a simulated or a practice account. When you're actually trading and working full time, it's a big adjustment to figuring out like how you are without a whole lot of sleep or waking up early. You might have some brain fog. So use those things and don't go in and personally trade a live account right away. It's not a good idea in my opinion. Instead, I would go with like a simulated account, get used to trading that time of day, get some data that suggests that you're doing well. From there, rotate into a prop account like Top Step. You spend $50 and you get access to capital. If you pass their challenge in 2 days or whatever, 3 days, or however much time you need, and you get real money to trade with and you get to keep the profits. Execute off that for a while, prove that you're doing well, and then go into a live account, because at the end of the day, it's very important for us as traders to be in the game as long as we can. The journey sounds boring and like you're trading because you want to make money right now, but it's also about being patient, understanding that the process is the process and it takes time to make money with trading, unfortunately. And even just these big life changes like waking up early or going to bed late or whatever it is, they affect your trading because trading is very mental. So do that blueprint just to stay in the game longer. If you're interested in Top Step, it's linked down below. There's practice accounts all over the internet that you can use. Hopefully these tips, hopefully the time of day, I get asked that all the time. Hopefully that time of day a little bit does help you. And even the blueprint of day trading, simulated account, funded account, live account, follow that order will be really helpful for you. So I hope you have a great one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the thumbs up button down below if this was helpful. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.